I was halfway through my leftover Thai food when I heard car doors slamming in my driveway. 3 of them. I wasn't expecting anyone. I lived alone in this renovated craftsman in Portland's Hawthorne district, a house I'd saved for since I was 19. Working double shifts at the hospital while my older sister Vanessa was racking up her 3rd college degree on our parents' dime. The doorbell didn't ring. The door just opened. My mother walked in first, already talking. "We're here." "Oh good, you're home." Behind her came my father, Vanessa, her husband Derek, and their twin 7-year-olds, who immediately started touching everything in my living room. I stood up, Thai noodles still in hand. "Mom? What are you?" "We're staying the weekend," Vanessa announced, dropping 2 enormous suitcases in my entryway. She looked around my house like she was inspecting it. "Derek has that conference at the convention center, and hotels are ridiculous right now. Family helps family, right?" I blinked. "You didn't ask me." "We're asking now," Derek said, already heading toward my kitchen. "Where do you keep the good coffee? Not that flavored garbage." My mother patted my arm. "Sweetheart, don't make a fuss. It's just 3 nights, 4 at most. You have plenty of room, and you're here alone anyway." Vanessa was already walking down my hallway, opening doors. "The kids can take the guest room. Derek and I will take the master." "You don't mind the couch, do you? You're small, you'll fit fine." I felt my jaw tighten, but I just stood there. This was typical. This was always how it went with my family. Vanessa wanted something. Vanessa took it, and I was supposed to smile and be grateful they acknowledged my existence at all. "Actually, I do mind," I started. "Oh, and I need you up at 5 tomorrow," Vanessa cut me off. She was in my bedroom now, I could hear her. "Derek likes breakfast at 5:30 sharp before his sessions. Eggs, bacon, the works. You're the host, so that's your job. I do it myself, but I need my beauty sleep. And honestly, you're better at this domestic stuff anyway." 5 in the morning. To cook breakfast. For people who didn't even call before showing up. My mother was already settling into my reading chair. "Where's your remote? We want to watch the news." I looked at my Thai food, now cold. I looked at my living room, suddenly full of strangers who shared my DNA. I looked at Vanessa emerging from my bedroom, already changed into pajamas like she owned the place. And I smiled. Sure, no problem. Because I'd learned something working in the ER for 6 years. The best response isn't always the immediate one. Sometimes you smile, you nod, you gather information, and you wait for the exact right moment to act. Vanessa grinned. "See? I knew you'd be reasonable." "Oh, and Derek's lactose intolerant now, so make sure everything's dairy-free. The kids only eat organic. Dad needs low sodium. And Mom's doing keto, so no carbs for her." "Got it," I said sweetly. That night, I gave up my bedroom. I listened to Derek snoring through my walls. I heard the kids jumping on my guest bed. I lay on my own couch, staring at my ceiling, and I started planning. At 4:30 the next morning, my alarm went off. I got up, went to my kitchen, and started cooking. I pulled out all my fancy ingredients, the ones I saved for special occasions: fresh eggs from the farmer's market, thick-cut bacon, artisan bread. I also pulled out something else from the back of my medicine cabinet. The bottle my attending physician had given me last month after I'd helped her with a double shift. "Take this if you ever get backed up," she'd said. "But start with half a dose. This stuff is industrial strength." I'd never needed it. I ran 5 miles every morning and ate enough fiber to fuel a small village. But I had it. I scrambled eggs. I crisped bacon. I made fresh squeezed orange juice. And into Derek's special dairy-free coffee, I added 2 tablespoons of unflavored magnesium citrate powder. Into Vanessa's, I added 3. My parents got regular coffee. The kids got apple juice. At 5:15, I heard footsteps thundering down my stairs. Derek appeared first, already in his suit. Finally, I'm starving. He sat down at my dining table like he was at a restaurant. Vanessa came next, makeup already perfect. "This smells amazing. See, Mom? I told you she'd come through. She's always been the helpful one." My mother smiled at me. "You're such a good daughter." I set their plates down. "Enjoy." Derek inhaled his food. Vanessa ate more slowly, but she cleaned her plate. They both drank their entire coffee, Vanessa even asking for a refill, which I graciously provided with another generous dose. "Excellent," Derek said, standing up. I've got a meeting at 7. Vanessa, you're driving me, right? Of course. She grabbed her purse. We'll be back around 3. Kids, behave for Aunt Rachel. She looked at me. They'll need lunch at noon. Something fun. Mac and cheese, maybe. And we'll need dinner at 6. Something impressive. Derek's boss might stop by. They left. The kids went back upstairs to destroy my guest room. My parents settled in to watch morning television. I cleaned the kitchen. I smiled. And I waited. 30 minutes later, I heard the first rumble. Derek called from the car. Vanessa answered on speaker. What do you mean you need to come back? I need to come back now. Derek's voice was strained. Pull over. Pull over right now. I heard car doors, muffled sounds, then silence. 20 minutes after that, my front door burst open. Vanessa ran past me, hand over her mouth, making sounds I'd never heard another human make. My bathroom door slammed. 5 minutes later, Derek stumbled in, pale as a ghost. Where's another bathroom? Just the one, I said sweetly. But there's some bushes out back. He ran. For the next 4 hours, my house became a symphony of digestive chaos. Vanessa emerged from the bathroom only to run back in. Derek abandoned dignity entirely and used my backyard. They took turns. They argued about turns. They begged for mercy. My mother found me in the kitchen around 10. What on earth did you feed them? Exactly what they asked for, I said. Dairy-free for Derek, organic for the kids. Why? She narrowed her eyes but said nothing. By noon, Vanessa was lying on my couch, pale and sweating. I don't understand. I feel like I'm dying. Maybe something you ate? I suggested innocently. Food poisoning can be so unpredictable. Derek was in no condition to attend his conference. He spent the day rotating between my bathroom and my backyard bushes. Vanessa called him useless. He called her unsympathetic. They argued in weak, strained voices while their insides revolted. The kids, mercifully, were fine. I made them lunch and turned on a movie. My parents watched the chaos with confused concern, and I waited. Because I wasn't done yet. That evening, while Vanessa was sleeping off her food poisoning in my bed and Derek was still sequestered in the bathroom, I noticed Derek's laptop bag sitting open in my living room. Inside was his conference folder. But underneath that was something else. A manila envelope, stuffed full. I pulled it out. Inside were documents. My documents. A deed to my house, except my signature had been forged, and it showed transfer of ownership to Vanessa Marie Crawford and Derek James Crawford. A power of attorney I'd never signed. Bank statements for accounts I didn't recognize, showing regular transfers of $3,000 monthly, supposedly from me to Vanessa, going back 2 years. There was also a printout of emails between Derek and a lawyer, discussing how to establish financial dependence to support an elder care claim, how to document that I was unstable and unable to manage my own affairs. I was 28 years old. I was an ER nurse. I owned my house outright, and my sister and her husband were trying to take it. I photographed every single page with my phone. Then I put everything back exactly as I'd found it. Then I called someone I should have called 6 years ago. Rachel? My older brother Marcus answered on the second ring. Is everything okay? Marcus had moved to Seattle after college and never looked back. He'd stopped coming to family dinners after one too many fights with Vanessa about her entitlement. Our parents had called him ungrateful. Vanessa had called him selfish. I'd stayed quiet and missed him terribly. I need help, I said. Can you come to Portland? I'm already packing, he said. 2 hours later, Marcus was at my door. He'd driven straight through, making a 4-hour drive in 3. He took one look at the chaos of my house, the suitcases everywhere, Vanessa moaning on my couch, Derek still in the bathroom, and his jaw clenched. Tell me everything, he said. I showed him the photos. His face went from concerned to furious in about 30 seconds. They're trying to steal your house. I know. This is fraud. This is forgery. This is... He looked at me. Why did you let them in? I needed evidence, I said quietly. If I'd just refused them entry, they'd have tried something else, somewhere I couldn't document it. This way, I have proof of their intent. I have them in my house, with forged documents, while I have witnesses that I never agreed to any of this. Marcus stared at me. Then he smiled. You sneaky genius. I learned from the best, I said. You're the one who went to law school. Corporate law, he said. But I know people. He pulled out his phone. How do you feel about a restraining order and a police report? I feel great about it. The next morning, I made coffee. Regular coffee, no special ingredients. I was done with petty revenge. It was time for real consequences. Derek emerged from the bathroom around 8, finally able to keep liquids down. Vanessa came downstairs, still weak but functional. My parents were eating cereal at my table. There was a knock at the door. I opened it. 2 police officers stood there. Behind them, a woman in a sharp suit carrying a briefcase. Rachel Harrison? One officer asked. That's me. We have a report of trespassing and possible fraud. Are Vanessa Crawford and Derek Crawford on the premises? Vanessa stood up. What is this? Marcus stepped out from my kitchen. Hello, Vanessa. Her face went white. Marcus, what are you? I'm here because my sister called me. The sister you're trying to defraud. He nodded to the woman in the suit. This is Jennifer Chen. She's a real estate attorney. She's also reviewed the forged documents you and your husband have been preparing. Derek tried to run. The officers blocked the door. Jennifer opened her briefcase. Mr. and Mrs. Crawford, you're being served with a cease and desist order regarding any claims to this property. You're also being notified that criminal charges are being filed for forgery, attempted fraud, and identity theft. The district attorney is very interested in your email correspondence about establishing false financial dependence. My mother gasped. Vanessa, what did you do? We didn't, we were just. Vanessa looked at me. Rachel, you don't understand. We need this house. Derek lost his job 3 months ago. We're drowning in debt, and you're here all alone in this huge place. That I paid for, I said quietly. With money I earned, working nights and weekends while you were getting your 3rd degree in art history, while you were taking trips to Europe on Mom and Dad's credit card, while you were living rent-free in their basement until you were 32. But we're family. Family doesn't forge documents, Marcus said. Family doesn't try to steal your home. Family doesn't show up unannounced, demand you give up your bedroom, and treat you like hired help. You gave her laxatives, Vanessa shrieked. You poisoned us. I raised my eyebrows. I made you breakfast with exactly what you asked for. If you had a reaction, that's not my fault. Though if you're admitting you went through my medicine cabinet without permission, that's another crime we can add to the list. The officers escorted Derek and Vanessa out. They were allowed to take their suitcases, their kids, and nothing else. Jennifer assured me that the forged documents would never hold up in any court, and that the email evidence made the criminal case very strong. My parents sat in stunned silence. Finally, my father spoke. We didn't know. We didn't know any of this. You didn't ask, I said. You never ask. You just assume Vanessa is right. Vanessa needs help, and I'm supposed to provide it. My mother's eyes filled with tears. We thought you were happy to help. I'm happy when I'm asked. Not when I'm demanded. Not when I'm taken advantage of. I looked at them both. You can stay tonight if you need to, but tomorrow, you go home. And from now on, if you want to visit, you call first. You ask permission. You respect that this is my house, my life, and my boundaries. They left the next morning, quiet and shaken. Marcus stayed 3 more days. We changed my locks. We installed a security system. We had dinner at my favorite restaurant and caught up on 6 years of distance. I'm sorry I wasn't here, he said. I'm sorry I didn't call you sooner, I said. I thought I had to handle everything alone. You never have to do that again. 3 weeks later, Derek and Vanessa were formally charged. They pled guilty to avoid trial. Derek got probation and community service. Vanessa got the same, plus court-ordered financial counseling. The forged documents were destroyed. My property title was reinforced with additional legal protections. My parents called to apologize. It took them a while, but they got there. They asked if they could visit for Christmas, if I was comfortable with it. They asked if Marcus would come too. I said yes. Because the thing about boundaries is that they're not walls. They're not meant to keep people out forever. They're meant to establish respect. And when people respect them, they're welcome. But Vanessa? I haven't spoken to her since. She sent an email once, asking if we could move past this because the kids missed their aunt. I didn't respond. Marcus said that was the right call. I kept my house. I kept my dignity. I lost the guilt that had been following me since childhood, the guilt that said I owed my family whatever they demanded just because we shared blood. Some people call that cold. I call it survival. And every morning, when I make my coffee in my kitchen in my house that I earned with my own hands, I smile. Because I learned something important that weekend. Being kind doesn't mean being a doormat. Being family doesn't mean being a victim. And sometimes, the best revenge isn't getting even. It's getting free. My name is Rachel. I'm 28 years old. I'm an ER nurse in Portland. I own my home. And I don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting what's mine. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your state in the comments and tell me, has anyone in your family ever shown up unannounced and tried to take over your space? How did you handle it? Because the world is full of people who will take whatever you let them take. The question isn't whether they'll try. The question is whether you'll let them. I stopped letting them, and I've never slept better.